In a patent filed in 2012, aviation and defense pioneer Boeing, who has served the American military for over a century, set its sights on one of the most outlandish-sounding technologies to have ever been developed: a plasma force field. According to the document, the device, mounted onto a vehicle, building, or even a kind of backpack, would use a mix of lasers, electricity, and microwaves to rapidly heat up the air between the vehicle and a blast, creating a plasma shield that reflects, refracts, absorbs, and deflects a portion of a shockwave. This phenomenon has become known as a silent destroyer that has proven highly difficult to diminish. For as long as bombs and improvised explosive devices have been used in warfare, world armies and private defense contractors have been looking for ways to protect their troops from incoming explosions from both shrapnel and shockwave. Now Boeing has the potential to change the face of warfare forever. Science fiction come to life. The majority of the damage caused by explosives during warfare comes from shrapnel and shockwaves. Over the millennia, war engineers have perfected the protection against the former, stopping the metal fragments propelling away from the blast zone with physical barriers, shielded doors, and heavy body armor. Shockwaves, on the other hand, are invisible and dangerous annihilators. With immense power, a shockwave pushes away the air surrounding the detonation site, creating a vacuum that sucks air particles and debris back towards the bomb site, going right through defensive armor and destroying entire cities or military bases in less than a second. As weapons get more sophisticated, defense contractors all over the world have been trying to build the best system to defend their armies against this silent destroyer. In response, aerospace legend and defense system giant Boeing has been awarded a patent to develop a force field-like system to protect from the shockwave caused by an incendiary device. And although the concept sounds like it could come from a science fiction blockbuster, it's said that the legendary company has the potential to finally bring this technology to life. Boeing Shield Technology. Shockwave damage is much more challenging to prevent, as the impact can traverse an intermediate medium like a physical barrier. However, the damage can be lessened or prevented by interposing an attenuating material between the source and the protected object. The idea is for it to serve as an absorber of the energy from the invisible shockwave by using a porous material that distorts as the potency is absorbed, working as an attenuator. In an NBC interview with Brian Tillotson, the senior technical employee at Boeing who filed the patent in 2012, he said that he got the idea for the force field patent when a biologist who worked with him mentioned that many United States soldiers were returning home with no apparent physical injuries, but later showed signs of significant brain damage from shockwaves following a blast. Further studies by the Institute of Medicine confirmed the data. During the two wars, over 31,000 troops have been wounded by an improvised explosive device, and countless more may not have been aware that they were exposed. The patent was approved in 2015 and is for a technology that can protect targets like vehicles, buildings, and even groups of civilians from suffering damage from a shockwave emanating from missiles or improvised explosive devices. Boeing's response to the issue is outlined in the patent as a never-before-attempted technological device. It reads, quote, "The general concept is to use an electromagnetic arc to create this intermediate medium in midair on very short notice by using a stupendous amount of energy to heat the air into a plasma." The device sounds out of this world, but it is actually quite straightforward. When Boeing's system detects a nearby explosion or a shockwave-producing event, its sensors calculate when it will arrive at a specific target and from which direction. Once it has determined these factors and an ordnance is set off, the system's objective is to heat the air around the target, generating what the patent calls a transient medium between the shockwave and the protected area that the shockwave will pass through. This medium would be a region of air with different densities, temperatures, and overall compositions that can then attenuate the shockwave, absorbing the energy as it passes through. The resulting heat would then create a plasma shield that is much denser and hotter than the surrounding air, and with a different density and composition. The company is convinced that this plasma field is enough to significantly divert, reflect, and absorb the energy generated after an explosion. Unknown details. To its core, Boeing has patented a buffer system that reflects, refracts, absorbs, and deflects at least a portion of the shockwave. In the patent, Boeing outlined several different system compositions with other methods for detecting other threats and rapidly creating the plasma field without technically explaining how the device would work. One of the options uses a series of converging microwave beams to generate a spherical-shaped region of the plasma. Alternatively, the force field in the system could be generated by firing lasers that shoot plasma channels into the air, providing a path for an electric discharge to create the plasma shield. According to Tillotson, the microwave option is the military's best bet while attempting to develop the technology, as the laser version would be hard to maintain in the field despite its flashiness, both literally and metaphorically. However, despite protecting and diminishing the damage from a shockwave, the device would not stop any of the shrapnel from the bomb, and soldiers would still need to rely on their own body armor or that of their vehicle to survive from the noticeable and devastating physical effects of an explosion. The future of warfare. If done correctly, the plasma field would further cement Boeing's status as one of the leading companies in defense technology, but as of 2021, no prototype has been built. Unlike the impenetrable force fields portrayed in fiction, the Boeing plasma shield system is not designed to prevent direct impact nor shrapnel. Instead, the device is designed to protect a specific target, whether it's a vehicle carrying troops or a building such as a command center or a field hospital, treating soldiers from the after effects of explosions. According to Tillotson, their primary concern is protecting human life. Quote, "Shockwaves don't really affect vehicles, but what you do want to do is protect the human body." The actual development of a prototype of this innovative device could still be a long way ahead, as filing a patent doesn't technically mean that Boeing is in the process of building it. There are still many obstacles to overcome regarding the technology, and Boeing might be waiting for a technological development breakthrough that would finally make the device possible. The biggest obstacle to overcome is that the system, which requires massive energy, wouldn't be able to sustain a shield for a long time, and it would have to be precisely timed. However, warfare isn't precisely known to happen on schedule. In addition, although the idea is technically possible, according to expert researchers at the University of Leicester, the energy from a plasma burst would temporarily render the defenders as vulnerable targets. This could mean that the use of plasma shields in warfare could be decades away, and only time will tell if Boeing will create this unprecedented technology and bring the future to the battlefield. Thank you for watching our Dark Tech video. If you liked it, don't forget to give us a like and leave a comment below. And also, please go ahead and subscribe to all of our Dark Documentaries channels and hit the bell icon to be notified of all our newest content.